Morning, guys. We're going to go ahead and show you a couple of techniques and then do a breakdown on it. We're going to do it a little slower. We're probably going to work it into a stage combat thing a little bit later, but we don't have a whole lot of time today, and quite frankly, it's cold and you can't see it, but it's spitting snow. So I'm a little older and I'm on blood thinners, and I don't want to be out in the cold. It's cold out here. All right, come on in, Katie. All right, we're going to work from what I've been calling a natural guard, which is just your cane or your stick down by your side with your hand resting on it. And I've been playing around a lot with, this kind of a guard where you're here, and then whenever you're up in a stick fighting position, you've got the stick punch from here whenever you throw it. From here with your hand in the hook, all right, you've got a couple of different ways to throw a different stick punch. You're going to throw a punch here with the crook, or just pop it up and throw the same kind of motion. Now, you don't have the forearm to break that stick whenever you do it, so it's just a straight up punch that way, okay? And then you can do it off the other side. So we've got a way to show you that, and then we'll talk about it. So I'm going to be attacking on Keegan this time, and I'm going to pop it that way. All right, and his response from there is he's going to come over the top, and I'm going to block it. All right, and then I'm coming down, and he's going to thrust and come over, and there, and then I'm punching forward at his face with the crook of that cane. Okay, so he's moving out of the way. Now, this isn't the way that he would naturally move, because most of the time he would have it in his right hand, and his right hand's broken. However, I come from a background, and whenever I was doing Olympics Taekwondo, that everything that I did was bilateral because of the kicks that were involved. All right, so we used a stepping motion whenever we would fight, and I could throw a punch or a kick, and if I planted that kick coming forward, now I'm off the other side. So I've got to be able to punch or kick off of that side. So since he was 3, I've been teaching him to do that, and that's why he's fairly proficient off of his left side, because he's used to being able to fight from that side. But that's not his natural strong side. So I do suggest practicing off of both sides. That way, if you find yourself where your hand's been injured, you can defend yourself off the other side with your hand, and the steps and everything that you're employing aren't going to be all that unusual to you. All right, so let's break it down again. The way that I threw that punch was I came up and just kind of flipped it out that way. All right, the other punch was from the bottom, and I kind of threw it and then braked it and came up with it here, and then that combination. So I like to use that. You come here for the groin, because that's going to get somebody moving. Even if you just tap them, even if that's just a little tap, they don't want that. A lot of times it's going to draw the reaction. So that's coming down and then there. So if they're standing here, the reaction's going to come down, and then you've got a straight into the face. All right? So even if you've got it and you're using a traditional shillelagh, you've got it underneath the knob there, and you just go here, you can still come straight into the face with the knob of that shillelagh. All right? And then you've still got this kind of motion here where you can come that way with it. Now, the block that Keegan used, there's 2 ways to do that. Like I've said before, I like to keep the horn of my cane forward. So whenever I do it, I come up, and that's more of a natural tonfa or a PR-24 for you old law enforcement guys. You've got it there along your arm, and you're doing that kind of a block. However, you can do it with the crook forward, and you just throw it up over the outside of the arm there. So if you are standing and somebody comes, you got to do that. Now, practice is important. You know, just coming up and doing that, because it'll come out and everything. So you want to practice that. And the best, you know, you can do it in the mirror, you can do it, you know, by yourself. However, the best way to do it is to practice that with a partner, because you get that correct. Okay? There. See, I mean, if it's out of position, then I popped him in the shoulder, and that, you know, you don't want to do it full speed until you've actually got it down. Anyway, I appreciate you guys watching today, and supporting the page. Throw a like and a share on there, and I'll see you next time.